The champions lost their lives in each of their respected divine beasts. Link then freed their spirits, which allowed them to contribute in defeating the Calamity. Following these events, Zelda Foreshadows was previously believed to be the story of the Champions Ballad.
Divine Beast Vah Ruta. Looks like it's stopped working. Let's investigate the situation.
Now that we know the plot of the final DLC focused on how the champions agreed to averting Ganon in the first place, is it finally time to see what's wrong with Vah Ruta and potentially all 4 divine beasts? What's up, my homies? It's Edible Incredible. Today, I'll be discussing how the champion spirits may play a big role in Breath of the Wild 2. Now, first and foremost, this isn't at all a theory, since there really isn't enough evidence to call it one. I just wanted to construct my thoughts into a video to bring discussion on this possibility. Let's dive back into the teaser. As most people know, the caves that Link and Zelda are exploring house an abundant amount of luminous stone. They give off a pale blue glow in the dark, which some believe to be souls of the dead, according to the stone's description. This can be further backed up by the blue aura that embodies the spirits of the champions and the King of Hyrule. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean their souls are trapped here, anyone's could be. The stones could even be representing Ganondorf's decaying essence, or the souls of the Zonai tribe, since their carvings are scattered all over these caves. But as you can tell by the title, I want to dive into a more interesting scenario, at least in my opinion. It seems Nintendo loves to bring back characters that play at least somewhat big roles in Zelda sequels. Not counting Link, Zelda, and Ganon, that is. Majora's Mask reused skins from Ocarina, but they're all their own characters. The Happy Mask Salesman and Skull Kid, on the other hand, are directly from the Hyrule and Ocarina, and play a big part in Termina. And Navi doesn't show up in Majora's Mask, but her disappearance in the previous game is why Link stumbled upon Termina in the first place. Tetra's crew from the Wind Waker to Phantom Hourglass, Vatsy from the Minish Cap to Four Swords, and Fi's presence gave Zelda the idea to have Link carried to the Shrine of Resurrection. Although a very brief appearance, her advice to Zelda proved to be extremely vital to the game's overarching story. As you can see, it's not super far-fetched for Nintendo to do things like this. The champions' deaths were a huge driving influence to Link and Zelda in destroying the Calamity. We got to see their personalities become a little more involved in the Champions Ballad. And even if you didn't like all the champions, most Zelda fans fell in love with at least one of them. Sure, they died 100 years prior to Breath of the Wild, but I just feel we haven't seen the end of these beloved characters' ghost forms just yet. So back to the divine beasts. In the teaser, they're nowhere to be found, which is odd because where would they get rid of massive machines? Unless Zelda decided to bury them like her ancestors. Or this scene just takes place before they brought the divine beasts back. Either way, for whatever reason, they've stopped working. Is it simply because the champions' roles were finished, which caused the beasts to become immobile? Or is it something more? If you reverse the trailer, you can make out a faint whisper. This was brought to my attention by AwesomeFaceProd's video. I'll have it linked below. Many people seem to make out different phrases for this whisper, but if it is saying "help us please," that obviously means there's multiple souls trapped here. This would debunk the possibility I mentioned earlier of the stones representing Ganondorf's currently deceased soul. Sure, we've already saved the champions' souls from their imprisonment in the Divine Beasts, but this feels like it would be a totally different pursuit story-wise. Could their souls still be corrupted by Ganon's influence? Was the defeat of Calamity Ganon the trigger in confining them yet again, originating from the Blight's initial victory? Or did it trigger something on a much bigger scale? We don't see Link with the Shiga Light in the trailer. He usually wears it on his left hip. Has all the ancient technology suddenly stopped working in response to the Calamity's collapse? Either way, the teaser seems to be alluding to something or someone being trapped here. With the crazy amount of luminous stone and the ominous whisper, do you believe it to be the champions, the Zonai, or something else entirely? Do you think the problem with Vah Ruta and the disappearance of the divine beasts in the trailer hint at an oddity with the champions' souls? Or simply the result of the divine beasts fulfilling their roles? I know this is like a million questions and heavy on the speculation side, but I thought it was just super intriguing to bring these possibilities up. Well, as always, I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to stay hyped. Peace!